We've reached the midpoint of the year, so it's time we take a look back on how cattle markets have been doing so far. And Derrell, so how would you characterize the cattle and beef markets?
Well, I think 2018 has been kind of a so far so good year. 2017, we had bigger supplies, but we also had exceptional demand that made the year surprisingly good. I think to some extent that's carried over into 2018, not quite as pronounced. Supply is continuing to increase, but demand has been pretty good up to this point in time.
So what are some supply challenges that the industry faces?
Well, again, slaughter is still going up. That happened last year, so we're going to slaughter more cattle this year. Slaughter, will be up around 4%, 3.5% to 4%. But the difference from last year to this year is that carcass weights, which went down in 2017, are also up relative to that lower level in 2018. So we've got both increased slaughter and increased carcass weights adding to our total beef production.
And what about demand? Demand's still up, isn't it?
It's been pretty good. Domestic demand has held pretty well. Wholesale beef values have held pretty well. We've seen a little more pressure recently. We're kind of at the, a big supply time period. We had cattle a little bit stacked up in this May-June period. And so demand's been pretty good. And of course, export demand has been exceptional up to this point, but we do have some challenges going forward.
Yeah, well, like you said, going forward, what are some other major factors that are going to impact the beef and cattle markets for the rest of the year?
Well, there's a number of factors to watch here. I guess first and foremost right now, obviously, we've got a lot of attention on this trade and tariff situation, what's going to happen with global markets. There's a number of ways that could impact beef markets, both directly and indirectly. So that'll be a major factor. We're going to continue to watch these supply conditions, carcass weights in particular. We have some marginal drought conditions that could get worse and add to some of those challenges, so we have to watch that a little bit. And then we're going to just be watching domestic demand continuing as we go forward. Again, we're going to have lots of supplies, so we do need that demand to hold things together.
And you mentioned the global market. I mean, you just got back from a month-long trip in China. Tell us a little bit about what you experienced over there.
Well, the trip to China was almost a month long, and it was really sort of broken into two parts. We had several objectives. The first half, I was teaching a class at China Agricultural University in Beijing as a part of our joint program with that university in agribusiness. Then after that, I had the opportunity to travel for another couple of weeks and really get to see part of the country, see the agriculture, and really start to develop a little bit of knowledge about China and the potential that we have there.
So how does Chinese agriculture compare to the agriculture that we're used to here?
Well, we traveled a lot around the country and traveled by train, and so you get to see a lot. Of course, China is a big agricultural producer in total. It's a big country. Most of the agriculture is relatively small scale. There is some, technology or mechanization, if you will, but it's relatively small scale kinds of stuff. Still fairly labor intensive. You've got lots of diversity in crop and livestock production, and of course, lots of fruits and vegetables and other kinds of production.
All right, Derrell, thanks a lot. Derrell Peel, Livestock Marketing Specialist at Oklahoma State University.